I'd also like to thank my local D&D group for being my loyal fans.
Oh, was that them?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they hung out with us in chat. But you got to stop inhaling into the microphone.
Inhaling?
Yeah. You have a strong inhale for some reason into your microphone.
Any better?
I don't know. Inhale. If you inhale, then yes, it's better.
Weird.
What happened to the other microphone that I gave you?
It's in my drawer.
Oh.
It's a really good microphone, and in this room, it sounds like I'm definitely in this room.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It picks up everything. I need to get like a studio type setup where deadening sound so it doesn't pick up all the echoes. Because I'm in a large cavernous room right now.
Does it picks up everything?
It does.
Killer of gnomes. Nice, Devon. I thought Mike was going to be here soon.
He found the rest of the storm.
No, we left the same party, so. Devon, what are you jamming to? Are you jamming to the waiting music? That's pretty good. I dig it. The new overlays look really good with whatever template you use. I dig them. They look very nice.
Back this way.
Well then, very nice. You did a good job. Hey, Mike's in roll 20, so he should be popping into go-to meeting at any time now.
Any memento?
We all went and watched Frozen 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I enjoyed it. It's true. It'll make you cry. I was like, I'm not gonna cry here. Oh, someone's gonna cry.
That was
I
want
want to watch that one.
That was really good. That one made me cry.
It looked like it looks really good. It looks like a tearjerker. Are there any explosions? Can you tell me that?
A lot of explosions. Tons of explosions.
Nothing blows up in Mr. Rogers. Oh, I created a new intro for the show, so we'll debut that on today's show. Yeah, that'll be fun.
What'd you think of Tom Hanks in that movie, Devon? That was really good. Props to them.
Should I go watch it in theaters, or can I wait for it to come to Netflix or Disney Plus? It won't be Disney Plus. That Disney doesn't own them, right?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, they don't own PBS yet. Give them a few.
All right, so we got Mike here, so we can get this thing started. Mike, give me a mic check. You are not. Do that one more time.
Test 1 2 1 1 2. Test 1 2 1 2.
Does the mic sound quiet to all you guys?
Sounds quiet.
Test 1 2 1 1 2.
Don't never do that again.
That's better.
How about now? If I get in real close. Can you hear me?
You don't have to get in real close. You just have to.
You know what? Don't tell me how to do.
That sounds better. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do this then, and we can get this thing started, and we can start with episode 5. You guys ready to go?
It is no.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob.
All right, so
Get them on their bed. That's how we do.
Get them on their bed. All right, so real quick, Barry, give me one mic check.
This is Barry coming in with a mic check.
Devon. All right. And Mike, we got one. So, all right, I'm going to count to 5 and then we'll start this thing. And here we go. Welcome to another episode of the Shut Up and Roll for Initiative podcast, a live play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign from the Shut Up and Respawn network. Find us at www.shutupandrespawn.com, join our Discord channel at the links provided on the website, and consider supporting us at patreon.com/SUARFI. Now it's time to shut up and roll for initiative.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Great. Now let's regroup, out of harm's way, and form a plan.
Ready to die, hero. Be the father. See yourself become the villain.
Oh my
Either we heal now as a team, or we will die.
Gear up. It's time.
The day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wolves and shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we blitz all night.
Master Chief, mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
Hills shall be shaken. Shields shall be splintered. A sword day. A red day. A day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
So welcome everybody back to Shut Up and Roll for Initiative. We just had our all-inspiring introduction that kind of gets us pumped, ready to role play and be epic. You know, just a couple
I think
of
I'm crying. I don't think I can stop crying.
It's a couple of things to draw inspiration from, you know. So a lot of film, a lot of video games that we just kind of like to embody. So we're going to try to do that here. All right, I am Steve. I play the Luxodon Paladin Shield. We're here with Mike, who plays the Raccoon Barrack, the Rogue. We're here with Devon, who plays the Wood Elf Ranger Fen, and Barry here is our Dungeon Master. And we are playing. Daniel M feels inspired in the chat. That was the whole point. We were glad you inspired. Give him DM inspiration. So last we left off, what we did was we were able to finally track down the gnome in the gnomish village of Nomergard. Luckily, Devon was able to have some restraint, and Fen did not murder anybody. Luckily, I'm glad that did not happen. So there might be no restraint this week. Then after that, we got a couple cool items from the gnomes that were going to help us out defeat the dragon Cryovane, who resides in the mountains on the tallest peak. And then from there, we decided to stop in on our good buddy Dazzlin and Norbis. Turns out Norbis had died. There was another gigantic ooze. The dwarves dug too deep, as dwarves normally do. And we saved Dazzlin. Mike decided to Abu the green emerald without checking for traps. Hopefully he learned his lesson for the future so that we will now never have to worry about traps again. So from there, we traveled back to Phandalin. Doubtful is probably true. We traveled back to Phandalin and talked with the town master, Harbin Wester. He gave us two options. He said, hey, go help out his brother-in-law at the wood logging cabin thing because they need supplies, or there is a ranch out near Phandalin that is under attack by orcs that has been taken over. So we kind of left everyone there trying to figure out what we were going to do. So without further ado, Barry, go ahead and take it away.
Harbin Wester has called a town hall meeting. He wants to hear your decision, but he wants to also get input from the rest of Phandalin. Phandalin, the bustle on the scuttlebutt around town is that you are becoming very quickly the local heroes, and if not the de facto protectors of Phandalin itself. As you guys walk through town and buy provisions and spend some time in the inn, preparing to decide where it is you're going to do. You're getting a lot of looks. You're getting a lot of kind of oohs and ahs from the younger children. You're getting some kind of sneer looks from younger men who kind of feel like, oh, we could be doing what they're doing, but obviously you're not capable themselves of doing that. You're kind of beginning a little bit of a reputation in Fandolin. Harbin Wester has put forth that at high noon, at high sun, if everybody will come to the town hall, he wishes to, one, hear your decision, and two, maybe even get some input from the rest of the townsfolk and the town's leaders as to what it is you're going to do. He's losing favor with the town. Most people are kind of ready to turn him out on his ear, and they are really just kind of tired of him. So as it's getting closer and closer to high sun, uh, people are starting to gather around the town master's hall.
Where are we?
You're currently at the Stone Hill where you've been provided rooms at this point. They're no longer charging you for rooms. People have expressed their gratitude for the things you've done so far, for getting Adabra safe, at least considering her safety. The Dazzlin has kind of regaled everybody with your bravery and expressed all that you've done for him. And there's even been some rumors that gnomes are going to be heading into town as well, expressing also what you've done for them. And so your reputation is kind of beginning to precede you.
So fellas, gather around this table. We have a choice to make. How are we gonna play this? What are we gonna do here? Are we gonna be dictated to by these townspeople? Like what's our strategy going into this meeting so that we know we are all on the same page on what we say and what we do? What are your thoughts? Ben, what are your thoughts, man? How do you want to play this?
I think I might wait for those gnomes. When do they come in? No.
They're not coming. I've
damn.
gotten word that they're not coming, so let's put them out of our mind.
Fine.
Please refrain from killing the gnomes. But how do we want to go about this? Shield, what thoughts do you have?
I don't much care for Harbin. I should not judge his kin based on our first passing with Harbin. I don't know what his brother-in-law is like, but I think if there is someone, this farmstead, if it's under attack by orcs, I think we should go save them. I don't know. I mean, the wood mill is 60 miles out of Fandolin. By the time we get there, how far will the orcs push farther in to Fandolin? My gut says we go help the people at this farmstead. That is what my gut tells me.
Okay, what happens if we don't have the support of the people?
Then we kill the people also. What?
That's my Fen.
I mean,
that's the Fen I've come to know and respect.
We kill all the orcs, and
Okay.
that will give us the support of the people. If it doesn't, then we shall raise the orcs from the dead. No, just kidding.
Yeah, that took a turn. So
I met a few
before we
people
go
in my
to-
time, so.
Nice. Before we go to the meeting, because I took all of our loot from our last encounter, and going over this time that I've had to kind of take a look at it, I seem to have no use for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Fen. Here's the wand of pyrotechnics, and here is a hat of wizardry. So go ahead and look those up and equip those in your stuff.
My inventory?
Just so that you know you have it on your person versus me having it. So it's a hat of wizardry
All right.
and a wand of pyrotechnics.
And we are all in agreement with this. Going to the farmstead first before, or even if we don't even know what's happening at the mill. We just know that supplies have not come. correct?
So,
The knowledge we
so, I,
have.
so I think our step now is we're going to go attend a meeting to see what the townsfolk of Fandolin have to say about us and see, kind of get a better read on what they feel about Mr. Harbin Wester, whether or not he needs to be replaced, and what our part in that either has been or will be leading up to the encounter we're going to have. So I think our next step is to go attend a meeting.
So
Yeah,
we took a long rest then before.
it's even been a couple days. People have kind of provided you with anything you need, and so you've had plenty of time to rest and regroup and think about this. And remember, it's the logger's camp is his brother that they haven't received any logging provisions from. So the ability to rebuild the town, the ability to keep the town in supply is what he's worried about. Other people are worried about that, but obviously he's got a little more investment, being that it's his brother. The ranch is more a local town hero. Um, Members of the town just love the guy. Alphonse Calazorn is his name. He's just an old adventurer who's kind of retired out there. People are hearing that he's getting overrun with orcs, and they're worried. And then those are the two current options that you've been presented with.
Okay.
The bell from the town hall begins to ring, signaling high sun.
Shall we make our way?
I say we take a spot near the back, maybe on a bit of a rise, so we can kind of see the group, see the group that's gathered, and try to read some people out. So let's kind of position ourselves a little bit strategically, fellas.
So as you walk towards the town hall, there are several people who are standing outside. As you begin to walk up, the crowd, there's a hush that comes over the crowd. They are pretty excited. The young man that you met earlier walks up to you, says, "Remember me? I'm Jamay. Do you remember me?
Of course we remember you. How are you?
I'm
How
well.
is- how is your
they're waiting.
leg?
They're waiting. That's fine. They're waiting for you inside. Please, 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 please rescue Alphonse. Please rescue Alphonse. And my name's Jamay. Just wanted to clarify.
Jamay. That's a great name, Jamay. How do you spell it?
Kind of like Jimmy, but it's pronounced Jamay.
Oh, that'll help me remember, Jamay.
The rest of the crowd parts its way. A couple people are again kind of just looking on you in awe. Other young men who haven't quite got cut their own teeth, or kind of looking at you like, you're not that great, but also recognize that they wouldn't be any better. As you walk into the town hall itself, there are a few people that are seated along benches and in the big open area, and up front, kind of on the stage type of area, there are several of the town leaders who have kind of taken seats up in the front, with Harbin Wester being the predominant one in the center, his spindly little form sneering kind of discontently at everyone. You also recognize that Elmar Barthen is there, the one who owns the provision shop of Barthen's Provisions, and then Tobin Stonehill, who is the innkeep. Adabra herself is also there, looking on you fondly, and kind of nods in approval and appreciation as you walk in. There are also two other women there who you do not recognize, who you have yet to interact with, but you've seen in and around town. Halia Thornton, who is part of the Miners Exchange, is sitting there kind of with a interesting look of appraisal on her face. And then Lenine Greywind from the Merchants Guild is just looks like she just would rather be anywhere else. She has a little bit more finer garb than everybody else, a little more kind of dressed more kind of Harbin style, and just seems more than anything perturbed to be there. Harbin, as he sees you walk in, says, "Heroes, we're glad you decided to grace us with your presence once again. We'd love to know what you've decided."
As we walk in, I use the wand of pyrotechnics and launch off 2 sets of fireworks.
into the crowd or into the building?
We're in the building,
into
bro.
the building. They're harmless. Don't worry. Okay. It's
Yeah,
just a
They're
light
not.
show to
They're
announce
They're
that we're
actually
here.
pretty powerful. Do you really do this?
No, they're just fireworks that go
It's just
off.
fireworks. It doesn't do anything. It's a burst of light. It's accompanied by a crackling noise that can be heard up to 300 feet
All right,
away.
go ahead and everybody roll perception.
11.
I got 22.
17 plus 6.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. you guys
So
are-
Devon and Mike, you notice pretty quickly that that Tolman, the barkeep, the innkeep, and both Elmar kind of snicker and smile, kind of nodding their heads like, "Yep, that's Finn." Adabra rolls her eyes a little bit. Harbin just stares as if he can't believe what he's seeing. But you do notice that Helia almost it's almost like she's excited about what she sees, but not in a way that's a good way necessarily. It's almost like a sinister sneer comes across her face. Lenine is just completely put off. The townspeople cheer, they laugh. A lot of them, the children, do it again, Gandalf. They just love it. So
Hey Finn, if you wouldn't mind, could you maybe put your wand in your hand and just kind of hold it this meeting, please? Don't show anybody your wand anymore. Just get a firm grasp and hang on to that, buddy. Okay,
I'm
appreciate
gonna
you. Have a
Put that
have a
back in my
seat.
pocket.
keep your wand in your pocket.
Um,
Harbin stands and says, "Thank you for that display. Again, we await your decision. Time is of the essence."
She'll just kind of stands there, and he's waiting for either Finn or Barrick to talk on this one.
All right, so what we've decided,
Slow down,
everyone,
hold on,
is
slow,
we're gonna
slow,
go kill the
slow,
orcs,
slow your roll,
and
slow your roll.
that's
got-
the final decision.
I got this one.
Lock in the
I got
vote.
this one. I got this one. Please,
Oh.
Harbin,
The Trash Panda wants to talk.
before we have make a final decision, we'd like input of the town and input from you, the elders whom we serve. We know that Garganspiel is your brother, Harbin, and we know that his logging operation has not given its shipment in time. Can you give us any more on what the ongoings have been going on up yonder?
Tibor, my half brother. If you look around, this town is barely keeping itself afloat. We have need to rebuild on a consistent basis. The weather, besides the fact that dragons are present in and around, as he says dragons, everybody hushes and kind of looks at each other fearfully. Without the lumber he provides, the town will surely fail. We all love and honor Alphonse. But Alphonse is retired. He's kept to himself. He provides nothing to the town, and the town just roars, just very angrily. And he says, "Please, please, quiet down. I know that is not a popular opinion, but what does he provide us other than maybe some milk from the cow every once in a while?" And again, people kind of boo and hiss, and then finally Elmar stands up and kind of hushes everybody. When he stands, everybody quiets real quickly, and he says, "Listen, Alphonse is a friend. He is also very capable of taking care of himself. It's not his fault the orcs are being pushed into our lands, nor is it his fault that he's been overrun. Your brother, half brother, pardon me, has a whole contingency of troops with him that could fend off whatever it is dealing. More than likely, they're caught up drinking or gallivanting around the forest. I say we rescue Alphonse. Everybody just stands up and cheers, and the crowd goes wild, and Elmar sits down. And then finally, Lady Lenine stands up. Need I remind you all that we were abandoned by Alphonse? Like, everybody just goes dead silent. He turned his back on this city, on this village, not quite a city. Look around you. If you wish to keep support from Neverwinter, and if you keep wishing to receive shipments from merchant groups and other merchants who bring other fine goods, we must have fortifications at once. Do not be foolish. Provide for yourselves. Let Alphonse look for himself. Tolbin and Adabra just kind of shake their heads as people argue and don't really say much. They just kind of listen and don't seem to have much of an opinion on it.
Shield, you're rather quiet. Why don't you tell us what say you?
I would like to perceive into the crowd. How many people are in the crowd currently?
There's probably a good 30 to 40 people.
How many of them seem to? I'm looking for able-bodied people that I would like to talk to. Are there adventurer-looking types in the crowd?
Most people are miners and farmers. The miners and some of the older farmers seem like they'd be more able-bodied. I mean, at least able to, swing an axe, swing it. But nobody is really weapon ready, if that makes any sense. Nobody has, looks like they have. I mean, if there's anybody who might know how to wield a sword, it'd be a really old veteran who maybe back in his past, wielded a sword here and there. But for the most part, miners and farmers who are just trying to get, anybody interested, even the town guard, very loosely put, just kind of young men, wet behind the ears, no real battle calluses on their hands at all.
Okay. So I ask Harbin. So I need to know, Harbin, before we make our decision, how long has it been since we heard from Alphonse, and how long has it been since we heard from your brother-in-law, your half-brother-in-law?
Well, my brother-in-law's shipments come every 2 weeks, and his recent shipment has not arrived, and it's been at least 5 to 6 days past due. Alphonse, it's been months since we've heard from Alphonse. These are rumors that he's been overrun with orcs. And again, people roar, "It's not a rumor. We know it's true. The children have said. Jemay has reported. Jemay."
Okay.
Jemay!
How far is the ranch? How far is the ranch from here? And we know, I believe we were told that the mill is 60 miles from here. How far is the ranch?
Well, the ranch is only 5 miles east of Connerberry, along the Tribord Trail. Follow the Tribord Trail. You've got a few miles to the north, and you'll find it there. But if you want to find this camp, sorry, it is more. Yeah.
I need a map. Someone show me a map.
A map. You wish to see a map? Well, you just hold your dadgum horses.
I need a map, and we will need 3 horses.
Maybe 2.5.
3 horses.
3 horses? Hold on.
Lenine, how you doing?
She doesn't even acknowledge that you've spoken to her.
A little stuck up, aren't we? Why don't we shoot some rockets at your face?
Why won't my map appear? Hello, map. I'm the map. I'm the map. Go away. There's no maps today. Here we go.
Crying children in the crowd.
Yes,
They want more fireworks.
They miss Alphonse, good old Grandpa Alphonse.
So I have a map that shows Fandolin. Is there
So
a
the Triboard
different map?
Trail, if you head north out of Fandolin, connect with the Triboard Trail, head northeast, follow it along, and I will look on another map that you can't see.
If we don't have the maps, we can't know where it is, right? I mean, we have to either go procure the maps or.
Your best route. Your best route is along the Triboard Trail. Head northeast. Only 5 miles past the junction of Connerbury. Connerbury is a little village right at the junction of the Triboard Trail into the forest. Continue east, and the ranch is 5 miles out of there. But if you continue north along the trail, this will take you up the river, and from the river you will easily meet the loggers camp, which is right in this area up here. It is the quickest way.
How many miles is per?
It
here?
should be
Per hex.
per hex. Per hex is 15 miles.
That's
No,
15
5 miles.
miles
5 miles.
per-
It's 5 miles.
Okay.
Just 5 miles.
So I mean, we could easily do both of these things first. We stop by Alphonse, we see how he's doing. If there are orcs, we are to rout the orcs. I believe my friend Finn has words to speak with any orc that he comes across. So we will do both of these things, I believe. We will stop by Alphonse, and then we will
Defecate on
carry
their
on,
face.
and we will go to the mill. As long as we can borrow or be loaned 3 horses for this trip, it'll go much faster, and we can take care of both of these things for the town.
They all kind of look at each other and stare. They all say, "Well, time is of the essence. We need the logging provisions as quickly as possible. Do not waste time with Alphonse if necessary."
Understood. So I'm going to turn to leave, and I whisper to Finn as we leave. I say, Finn, give the kids what they want as we walk out.
And as we walk out, I aim my wand at. I can't tell. I can't. There's a lady in here, but I can't see because there's a map in the way. Yes, Linnae, right? Is that her name?
Lenine?
Lenine. I aim it right at her face and shoot the firework right at her. But it goes off above her head. Scares her a little bit. I walk out.
Did you aim at her?
Yeah. It's a harmless firework.
Okay.
I would think it'd be like shooting off a like an artillery shell, because it is like still a firework.
It's still a firework. So go ahead and let me pull this up here.
Yeah. Well, that was a natural 20 on the keyboard.
On the keyboard, it was a natural 20.
She ducks quickly out of the way, almost as if it wasn't even a bother. She stares at all of you, shakes her head, and says, "I'm done," and begins to leave the town meeting. Tolbin and Adabra look at you, all 3 of you, and kind of give you kind of like why sneers, and then motion you over to their corner. Everybody's dispersing. Cheers go up. They're looking for horses. But Tolbin and Adab are kind of motioning to the corner. Harbin walks up real quick and says, "Just get it done quickly. Don't waste time with Alphonse."
So as Harbin leaves, I say to Finn, Finn, I meant for the kids. Did you catch the meaning?
Oh, I did it for the kids, all right. Did you see the way she looked at us?
I guess I did not. I did not. I was not watching, I guess. I didn't have enough perception to see that. So
You did not.
Adabra, Tolbin, you look as if you'd like to speak.
Adabra finally says, "Well, aren't you lads quite the interesting group?" Listen, Unfortunately, Harbin is right. Now, we wish no ill will on Alphonse. Um, Please scout it out, see if he's all right. No one wishes ill upon him. He left. He was making his own life. No one blames him for that. Um, but as you make your way to the logging camp, it's not Tobin's fault. He is Harbin's brother, half brother, whatever. But I tell you this: as you make your way through the woods, there is a man there who lives, and she kind of give me your map, Shield,
I hand over the map with my trunk.
and she says, in this area, Falcon. Maybe you've heard of him, Falcon the Hunter. He is well versed in the woods. He's lived there longer than any of us can tell, and he might be able to provide some assistance depending on what it is you're dealing with. Um, I don't know if any ill will has truly fallen, Tobin. He's not known to be a rabble rouser or by that matter, even a imbiber. I do fear there is something afoot, but Falcon it could be of assistance. Um, if you take a little token of affection, be it in the way of meat or wine, you might even persuade him a little quicker.
We appreciate that, Adabra, and all the assistance that you've given us.
Oh, well,
Tol-
I'm forever indebted for my lives to you.
Tolbin, any parting words?
No, lads, I just say get a good night's rest tonight. Be sure you're well provisioned. Tribal Trail's easy enough to follow, and it's a well traveled road. Shouldn't have any trouble. There may be a few errant orcs, I'm sure, but beyond that, shouldn't have anything strange. Although maybe tone down the antics if you would a bit. I wouldn't fall out of favor with anybody in this town, as everybody here, whether they be well intended or not, or of good temperament, can provide you with some assistance.
Can
They should
you,
not fall out of favor with us. We are the ones protecting them. I think they have that role reversed. I
Lad,
walk away.
we have much to learn. Anyway, you're
What can
welcome in
you,
tonight. Get a good night's rest.
What can you tell us about the two ladies on council that we haven't seen before? Lene and Bridget. Lenine and
Yeah, the Lion Shield company provides wares out of Neverwinter. They are a noble family. They have stops all along the Sword Coast, all along the roads. She is here of her own volition. She's chosen this post, and she provides protection and help to those who seek it. In the as long as they've got coin to exchange for weapons and armor. They're finely crafted, for sure. They come out of Neverwinter. Nothing is crafted here, as we don't have even a smithy, but for that kind of thing. Halia, on the other hand, she seems steadfast and hellbent on keeping this town um, protected, and is not very fond of outside influences. She and then those who she works with, the miners, she feels like they are the true founders of the town. No one would be here if it not been for them. There's enough gold in the rivers and in the hills to provide a decent way of life if you're willing to do the work. And she's a hardworking woman. I'll give her that. If not a bit,
Cat got your tongue, Tobin.
yeah. If I hate spreading rumors, if not a bit shifty. Now, for my part, she's never done me ill. She's never been unfair or dishonest with me. But sometimes I just get a strange feeling. That's all I can say.
like a tingling.
Not quite the tingling, lad. Not the tingling of my youth, but there's something about her. She means well. She's a hard worker. That's all I know. all I
Tobin,
can
do you
say.
have a wagon that we can rent from you for this
Elmar may
journey that
have
we're going to
Elmar
take
may
on?
have one. Elmar may have one.
Okay.
I don't really keep one there at the inn, but Elmar may be able to provide you one.
Cool. I'm gonna leave, and Shield is gonna leave and go talk to Elmar. I say I'm gonna go find us some transportation. I'll meet you back at the inn, and then we leave in the morning. Sound good, Fen, Barrick?
Finn had already walked away and is wandering around town.
Okay.
Shield, that's a good plan. I'm gonna head towards Lenine's store, I guess, as it were.
Okay. So Shield, you catch up with Elmar. He's getting back into his provisioning shop. He's taking off his cloak and kind of running his hand over his bald pate. Well, that could have gone better.
Elmar, I have learned from the travels with my two companions that you don't know what to expect, so you can't really expect anything. So you have to expect everything.
True
So
enough.
Truly,
Well
you have
said.
a dizzying intellect.
So, me and my companions are in need of transportation. If you have a wagon, I think would be best for us. A wagon and a horse. I'm not much of a rider myself. I never learned to ride, but if you have a wagon and an ox or something that can pull it along, I would gladly rent it and pay it and hopefully return it in one piece.
Well, lad, I'm more than happy to provide you with what I've got. I would have to take it on consignment if that's all right. I'm not one to lose goods if unnecessarily. Not that you'll fall any ill. I totally trust your abilities, but in the event, you never know. There is a dragon about you, understand.
I understand, and that's one of the reasons why we're here. And anything that you can do to help us help the town, I think would go a long way to helping everyone out. Seeing as it seems to be that the three of us are the only ones willing to help solve problems that your town has at this current time.
Well, we do appreciate it. You know from the council, they mean well. Not all of us are capable like yourselves, but if we could just get rid of the things that plague us, if not the administrators that plague us, as it were, we might be faring well. I just can't get on with Harbin.
It seems like you are not the only one, but it also seems like for some reason he's in power here, and you all tolerate it.
It's not our choice. It's we all belong to the kingdom of Neverwinter. We are beholden to those laws, and we're not law breaking or vagabonds. We only wish to make an honest living. If that's who they have put in this post, well, they don't understand our town.
I unfortunately I've seen that in many towns that I've come across. That it seems like the wrong people seem to be in charge all the time.
And I'll tell you this too, lad. I've been here long enough. I've seen enough town masters.
Very
Come
well,
and go.
Elmar. What
Well,
do I need? What do you need for this wagon so we can be on our way?
While Shield was talking to him, I sneak up behind him.
Behind Shield?
No, behind the storekeeper.
He's behind his counter.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for stealth. I have +6.
Go ahead and roll stealth.
I got 11.
He
11 plus 6 or
No,
5
11.
plus 6?
11 adjusted.
total. Yeah, he stares at you as you are unsuccessfully trying to sneak, I guess, over the counter or through the door, and he says, "Can I help you, lad?"
Like, yeah, how much?
How much for what?
The wagon.
Well, if you'll if
I say, Fen, I didn't see you there.
I know, I'm pretty
You were out
sneaky.
wandering.
I was, but I
if you
wandered up
spot
here.
me, if you'll spot me 15, I'll return 10 when you return.
I'll give you 4.
He's looking at Shield.
Shield will pass over the 15.
Don't be a coward, Shield. These people would be
Fen, I
dead if not
believe,
for us. All right?
I believe Adabra said that if we took wine to Falcon, he might be of assistance. Do you have wine, Elmar?
I do. I have some decent wine.
Oh,
some
I'm
decent
sure he'll
port.
overcharge us for that too.
Oh boy.
I've got a decent wine that I think Falcon himself might like. It's 5 silver.
Highway robbery.
So I pass over my 15 gold and I look at Finn, expecting Finn to pay for the wine. So I'm just kind of waiting.
I'll give you one
My
copper.
trunk is tapping. My trunk is tapping on the bar.
One copper is
Daniel in
my
the chat
bid.
says, "What alignment is Finn?" I don't think any of us know, Daniel.
Chaotic.
So Devon, you only slide over a copper.
I said I'll offer you a copper. We're haggling over the price here.
And
I can
and a
persuade
really haggle
you.
boy. He looks back to Shield. Are we doing this or are we doing this?
So I'll slide over. I'll slide over the 15 silver also.
5 silver. I only need
You're such a
5
big
silver.
man. You're such a pansy. And I walk out.
So I walk out with Finn also. I said, Finn, I've got us a wagon and a horse. Did the horse come included with the wagon from Elmar?
Yes.
So if you have any provisions, I can load this up and I will get the wagon ready for us to depart tomorrow. So if you have anything you need loaded, let me know. I'm gonna take this wagon over by the inn. I'll be in the stables taking care of the horse and the wagon. So if you have anything there, I will see you there at the stables. So I head off to the stables.
While you two are dealing with the wagon and provisioning, Barrick has made his way over to the Lion Shield coaster.
I'm gonna enter and take a look around to see what kind of scene I behold. What do I see?
So you walk in, and it's a very well kept establishment. The wood inside and the furniture is of a finer make. The carpentry and the craftsmanship into it are definitely not anything made from here. There are some very elegant animal skin rugs on the floor, and then banners of the Lion Shield clan are kind of draped everywhere. There's also an entire rack of very highly polished swords. There's breastplates. There are gauntlets. There's even a few chainmail shirts. It's just some really well-made armor on display, ready for sale. Behind the counter, Anine kind of gives you an icy stare. It says, "What do you want?"
Madam Greywind, I have since learned of your position here in town and wondered, with all the journeyings and things I have seems to be ahead of me, if you had anything that would be at my size to protect me from all the stuff that we're coming up against. Is there something that you have in your
Go
stock?
ahead and
that
roll a
would fit me?
persuasion.
Persuasion.
Mhm.
Let's see. My persuasion is plus
Gonna be
0.
your charisma.
Oh, great! That's awesome. 6.
Hold on.
I'll see myself out. Appreciate your time.
she she just gives you this icy stare. I'm surprised you're in here after what just happened.
What the heck did I do?
Well, you
That's
and
what
your
I say.
troop.
That's what I say to her.
Yeah, you and your troop seem more buffoons and circus performers than anything. It won't be long before you've worn out your welcome.
We thank you, madam. We get our tasks done and we do it in our own way. Is there anything on your shelves that you would dare sell me?
I unfortunately have nothing here. I honestly am not, and I'm not. I don't mean this with. Trust me, I'd take your gold if I could. I really have
I'm
nothing
gonna
here.
cut her off right there. If she's gonna be
she's-
short to me, I'm gonna be short to her and say, "Okay, thank you." Turn around and walk out. I don't got time for her.
As you're walking out, kind of flustered and frustrated at your go ahead and roll a perception again.
Perception 17 plus 6.
So you have enough of your wits about you. You don't completely lose your cool enough. I mean, she pissed you off, but you also recognize that she's got a stick up her butt, and so that's not enough to ruffle your feathers. But as you're walking out, there is a very not dazed, but almost absent-minded looking gnome that you recall from Nomengard. He's carrying in his arms a wrapped oilskin package, and he's just staring up at all of the buildings, and is very fascinated, and is walking right, and he's gonna run right into you.
I'm gonna stay.
It's Fibblestib.
I'm gonna stay put so that we can kind of have an interaction. But I'm not gonna stay put as to knock Fibblestiv down or
Kind of
knock him off
absorb the
the
impact
line.
instead of
Yeah,
creating.
just to kind of
Okay.
just to kind of oh look, it's you. How did you get here?
He says, "Oh, Master Barrack, you are exactly who I was looking for. How fortunate am I?"
It is fortunate to meet you here, Fibblestiv. What can I do for you? Although we might
Well,
need to step outside. It's rather cold in here. As I
oh,
peek out.
I was feeling what cold.
It's okay. Well, let's talk
Okay.
outside.
Oh, okay. So he
Come on.
follows you out. He's still got this package wrapped in his arms, and he says, "Well, I see you haven't left yet, so that's good because I have something for you." He kind of very gingerly and delicately hands over this skin wrap package that's wrapped really nice and really tight, and it's got a good heft to it, and he just hands it to you, and he's just very proud and says, "You're welcome."
Fibblestiv, I don't know what to say. I'm gonna
Neither do I, he says.
From the
I'm gonna
distance, Finn sees
Oh, no.
Fibblestib
Oh my
Finn is
gosh.
not
and
anywhere near this
shoots
area right now.
his
Finn
longbow.
is not anywhere near this area.
Finn moves around town pretty quick. Shoots his longbow to the side of him, not directly to hit him, but just to scare him a bit.
He does not notice.
Does not notice. So Finn, because
He's
Fibblestib
fixated
did
on the
not
fact
notice,
he's fixated on
goes
the
to
fact it
shoot
has,
Fibblestib in the head with my bow.
The hold on one second, Devon. Okay, real quick.
Fibblestiv.
Let's get this package unwrapped real quick.
I'm gonna open this. Is there a bench or anything I can kind of like sit down on?
You can sit on the stoop of the lion's guard.
I'm gonna open this gently and with great care in front of whom I'm assuming is gonna be the maker of. And when I open it, I see
So there is a little wooden handle, carved, really like deep red mahogany wood with inlaid brass etchings and just wonderfully crafted, embossed designs. There are the bow of what looks to be a small hand crossbow is actually laid to the side, um, along the length of the hand crossbow. There's a big gap though in the middle, like a big opening right through the center. So where you would normally place your bolts, there's actually just a hollow space that goes all the way through the haft. And he just beams and says, "Isn't it magnificent?"
Fibblestiv. I have not the words to describe the feelings of joy and this craftsmanship as I'm turning it over in my hands and examining it. Did you do all of this?
Well, I was
Can't-
part of it. Yes, I was hand to it.
I can't believe this workmanship. It is. I've yet to see it on this earth that I have been a part of. Lost my words there.
There you
I
go.
must.
No,
I
we-
must. You must show me. You must show me how this works.
okay. Oh, well, gladly. So he grabs it. He asks for it.
Up here. Of course.
He grabs the handle and he just does this little jerking motion, and it makes this really satisfying click as the bow pops out in place. The string runs taut over the length of between the bow, and it's clearly a really well made hand crossbow with a real nice curvature to it. And then he takes from the bottom of the package a little what looks like to be a rectangular cartridge and sticks it in the bottom and draws back and in a very rapid fashion just sticks two bolts almost in the blink of an eye into the wood of the building and just smiles.
Fibblestiv, I think I think in another life, you and I would have been great warriors together, and we would have been a great duo.
He
Beric and
laughs.
Fibblestive.
He laughs.
It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but this is
I,
truly remarkable, truly
you have
amazing.
made this a joyous day. I'm so glad you are pleased with our offering. You have truly provided us with safety in our home, and this is the least we can do.
Well, you will not be forgotten, and I will not forget you much. What can I give you in return for such a gift?
Oh, you have already given me all you can. Just knowing that we would have been mighty warriors in another life is enough to make me beam. So what you have is a hand crossbow +1, but you can also fire this twice in the same round.
Where do I note that in my sheet?
So
Is that under
when you
equipment?
look up in your equipment, just look for a crossbow or a hand crossbow and find the +1. It'll be in the and then you just have to make a note in your notes that you can fire it. Remember that you can fire it twice in the same round.
Is that like a bonus action it gives him?
Yeah, it's essentially a bonus action for the second shot. You also, every time you fire it, have to roll a d20. And if you roll a 1, not to hit, but after you've fired it, roll a 1, it will break and will have to be repaired.
Okay, so hang on a second. Where do I note that?
So you've got your under notes on the over and like under other notes, or is that what you mean?
Yeah. So then let's see. Crossbow, hand crossbow. Where is?
So if you're managing equipment,
Uh-huh.
you just find hand crossbow, and there's a
Right.
hand crossbow +1. You can add and equip.
Okay. And it'll say +1.
Yeah. So as you type, I just typed hand under manage equipment, and one of the first,
Okay.
like the third one.
There we
This
go. When you
crossbow
do
will
it,
come
when you
hand
do
up.
it right, it shows up. And then
Yeah.
we go on to add item. Okay, crossbow item added, and then I'm gonna go to all, clear that. So hand. Oh, great. Where did it show up? There it is. Okay. And then I have to roll d20 to make sure it doesn't need to.
Yeah. If you roll a 1, when you fire it, it will break and will need to be repaired.
Roll d20 after every shot, right?
Correct. After every use. So if the double shot.
Oh, because it's a double shot. It's not a rapid. It's not like as many as I want to shoot. It's just strictly double.
It's a double
It's
shot.
not a 19
Okay.
round,
Right,
Okay.
right.
Okay, roll d20 after every use. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this and then do this. I'm going to make sure that it is equipped. Let's see. And then I unequip the other one, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Fibblestive, thank you. I thank you. And I'm going to say it loud enough so that Linny can hear of my greatness and she can be, oh, I didn't get his gold, but it's probably not going to do anything. So after I do that, I'm going to head my way back towards the inn to meet up with Shield and Finn to see what progress we've made. And
I rolled a 16, by the way. 16 when I shot at
16?
Fibblestib. Yep.
To do what?
To shoot Fibblestib. I rolled a 16.
Okay, that's a hit. Roll damage.
Let's see. 1d. 5.
Sorry, 1 second. The arrow enters enters in the top of his clavicle, goes straight through to the back of him. He looks up at you, Barrick, suddenly really quizzically, and he begins to gurgle as his lifeblood begins to spill out of his mouth, and he falls backwards. Not quite dead, but definitely very close to and near death, with a look of complete shock and utter surprise on his face.
Let's see. I've got a potion of healing. Will that work in this
Sure.
scenario? So I'm gonna quickly grab my potion of healing, set everything down quickly, pull that out, administer the potion of healing, and I've got. Do I have any like a first aid kit or anything of the type?
So if you administer the potion of healing, you can roll the healing ability. I think it's 2d4 plus 2.
Okay. Okay, so here's 2d4 plus 2. So that's 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6.
Okay. The wound begins to kind of slowly and magically close itself up. He regains his breath. He has tears in his eyes. He's crying. He says, "What? Why? Where?" There is a kind of a murmur from the crowd, and just utter shock on lots of people's faces as everybody is looking at you, looking at Fibblestib, looking at Finn, just in complete and utter like disgust and disdain at what just happened.
Finn walks over and says, "Now we're even. Don't forget
There
it."
is a
And
there
walks.
is a sudden clamor, and Finn, you are now surrounded by some pretty wafy-looking city guards, and even a couple of the old farmers and miners. Lad, put your weapons down.
How did they surround me so fast?
Well, they all were watching him die, and surrounded you.
Let me see here.
Shield roll perception.
I'm not there. I'm in a I'm in the putting the wagon and the horse away.
I'm gonna roll for stealth.
You're gonna stealth in front of the whole town?
Yeah, I'm just gonna dexterity right out there, man.
So you can try to roll dexterity to get through the circle of people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
I got 8.
Yeah, one of them even gets a natural 20. They grab a hold of you, and kind of like 5 guys are kind of pull your arms behind you, kick your bow out of your hand, and now beginning to secure you from behind and walk you towards the townmaster's hall. So Barrick, you witness all this happen. Fibblestib is still completely. He just doesn't even know what to make of it.
Fibblestib, I have no words at all. How do you feel? What else can I do for you? What do you need?
He looks down. He's just crestfallen and just completely in shock, and he doesn't say anything. He's just completely confused. He looks at the crossbow and shakes his head and just starts walking towards the inn.
You should know why. Your crazy old lady attacked me.
There is a
That's not Fibblestib.
That doesn't matter. It's the first gnome I've seen.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's the wrong gnome.
So I'm gonna give a yell
care.
to see if I can get shields. I mean, am I close enough to where I can get shields?
You're pretty far from the provisioning area where he's working on the wagon.
So as quickly as I can, I'm gonna gather up my belongings. gather my belongings and run to the inn. I've got to get Shield in on this, so I'm headed that way as fast as I
Okay.
can.
So you make it about the same time Jamae makes it. Jamae is pounding on. He's just rushes up. Shield, shield, quickly! There's been a murder.
Jamae, Jamae, hang on,
No
Jamae.
murder.
What? Oh,
Just hey, Jamae, how are you? Do you remember me, Jamae?
yeah. Hi.
Oh, hey, I'm so glad that I found you. Could you please send a message to Adabra that Barrick needs to see her as quick as you can? Could you do that for me,
Roll
Jamae?
persuasion. Roll persuasion.
14 plus.
Yeah, he
0.
looks at you, kind of like, oh, okay, and reluctantly does it, but he takes off, heading towards Dabra's mill.
Thank you, Jamae. Oh, Adabra hasn't. She's not in town anymore.
That's the way he's running because they don't know that he knows where she is exactly.
So I'm gonna call out Jamae. She might still be in town. Stay in town.
He turns and anyway, he scuttles all around.
Okay, thanks, Jamae. So is Shield up in his room eating somewhere, doing something?
No, Shield would have been taking care of the horses and securing the wagon and the
Yeah.
stables next to the
So
inn.
The horse and wagon that he's been provided are in the back behind the provisioning building, and that's where he would be putting things together.
Oh, he's in the provisioning building. He's not even by the inn. Good grief! All right,
He's at Bartham's.
so I'm gonna run to Bartham's. And Shield.
Yes, Barrick, what is it?
He's done it.
Look at this wagon that who's
He's
done what?
okay. Like he's done it. Fen has done it. He Fibblestiv found me, talked to me. Fen saw him
Philip the
across
gnome.
across the town. Shot an arrow. I was able to heal him. Shield's been taken by the town.
Finn's been taken by the town.
Finn's been taken by the. I don't even know who I'm saying anymore. Like he's finally did it.
Shot
Like,
Sybil.
he shot him.
Why?
Because he did. I
That-
say that we load up. They're gonna come after us next. We got to get out of here.
Why would they come
And-
after us? We did nothing.
Shield. That's not how this town works.
What?
We got to go.
Is
we-
Thibble still okay? Where is
I
he?
killed him. He walked off. He's dejected. We have burned that bridge. Fen has messed us up with the gnomes. We've got to go. And I'm kind of getting him, finishing the hastily hitching of the wagon to the horse, and we got to go. There's no time. We got to get out of here now, right now.
But where?
Shield, there's no time. We've got to go.
I want to roll. I'm going to roll a perception check to see if Barrick is telling the truth, because this sounds. Why would Finn shoot a gnome in the middle of town where everyone could see?
Okay.
I roll a 15.
He's not lying. He definitely is telling the truth.
He shot someone in the middle of town.
Middle of town at broad daylight. Like we've got to go. Fibblestiv was dying in my arms. He died in my arms. Oh, he just died in my arms tonight.
Should we?
Must have been something.
Where is Finn now?
He's being taken to the townmaster's hall. He's gonna stand trial. I don't see him getting out of this one. We've got to go. There's no good for us staying. Let's finish our contracts and let's put this town behind us. We've got to go.
Is it possible that
Just about this time, as you're hearing all this crazy story and Barrick's in a tizzy, Jamae comes running back up. They want to talk to you.
Of course they do.
In the Townmaster's Hall.
Jamae, Jamae, could you go get me a loaf of bread? I could really use a loaf of bread. Do you remember me, Jamae? Do you remember me? Could you go get me a loaf of bread?
I remember you.
where do they want us at?
There's a gold coin in it for you, Jamae. Go get me a loaf of bread.
I'll
Can
meet
you, can you do
I
that?
suppose it's a strange time for you to be asking that, but
I just need it. It's
I'll
all.
meet- okay.
Barrick, let's go find out. There's no reason
Shield.
that the town would oust
Shield.
us. That we did
Shield.
nothing wrong.
I'm gonna roll a
You did-
perception to see if or a persuasion to see if I can get him to get on my side because we gotta go. 20.
You got a 20.
I got a 20.
Okay. You need to roll a wisdom save, Shield.
A wisdom save? I think
Yeah.
I have a +2 on my wisdom. So that's a 12.
His machinations, his talk, the fear in his eyes, from all intents and purposes, you really feel like you better leave. Like the best thing you can do right now is leave.
If you think that they're coming after us, but
Why would they not?
we didn't. I was over here. I didn't shoot
That-
anyone, but
Jamae comes back with the bread.
Oh,
Here's the
Jamae.
bread. I'll see you. You better head over now. They want to talk.
Jamae, where is the baker that you got back so close? You are one
We're
fast
at the provision
dude.
shop. They sell
Oh.
rations right here.
Oh, Jamae, I need a
He
toy
leaves.
duck.
He leaves. Yeah, he's gone.
so I start saddling up the wagon and getting ready to move out. Then
I'm gonna stick the bread in the back and throw all my stuff in the back of the wagon. Like Shield, we got.
While they're doing this, as they're grappling me, I try to escape the grapple with acrobatics.
Go ahead and roll your
14.
14. You fail.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So eventually, as you guys are sitting there talking, not very long, not too long before Elmore comes walking out the back. Lads, we need to have a conversation. What?
where did they take him?
They've got him in the town hall. It's the only place they could hold him.
What are they gonna do with him?
Well, that's yet to be determined.
What would you do with him?
Well, what would you do with him?
Where? What has anyone seen the gnome? I need to talk to the gnome.
Shield.
He's just kind of wandering like in this existential crisis through the town, just kind of staring at the ground and staring at his hands and staring at his shoulder and just.
Eric, come with me. Okay, so I go
Like,
find Pibblestib.
I can't
Okay,
face.
Fibblestip, he kind of recoils a little bit when he sees you both, but it's more a look of sadness on his face and says, "Yes."
I understand. So I put my trunk on Thimblestib's shoulder and I
He
cast.
recoils a little bit.
Yeah, I do it slowly, non-threatening, and I cast Lay Out of Hands and I give him 2 points of health. I don't know what he's at.
He's
but
full.
I,
He's full. The potion fully healed him.
Okay, so this is going to make him feel better anyway. So I give him 2 points of extra health on top of that, and I say, Thibblestib, what did you see?
I didn't see anything. I was standing there talking with Barrick, and before I knew it, the world began to close in on me as the most intense yet serene pain I've ever felt came coursing through my body.
Okay, Thibblestib, can you come with us, please?
If you wish it.
Okay, so go to the town hall with Thibblestib.
So Lenine is there, just kind of this look of complete condescension, contempt, and Harbin Wester's there, and he's can hardly believe. And then they're in the middle of the hall. The villagers are holding on to Finn. He doesn't seem to really be struggling so much as he just seems to be kind of standing there, almost with a smirk on his face. Um, uh, Heroes, I don't know how else to say this, but one of your companions just attempted to murder kind Fibblestib.
I didn't attempt to murder him. If I wanted to murder him, he would be dead.
Finn,
Perhaps
at
we.
this point, I think it's best you shut it, please, for the remainder of this.
You don't know what I've been through with these
trial.
gnomes.
I was there. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, they
Did you
attacked me
stop?
just like I attacked him. Nothing
Do I-
happened to them.
Do I have something that will shut him up?
Let's say, Finn, this wasn't the gnome that attacked you, though. This is the gnome that helped us.
Gnome's a gnome.
That's very racist.
There's a soft din over the crowd. Everybody's kind of looking at you guys really strangely. Harbin and Lenine kind of go in the corner and begin to talk. Before long, Helia comes walking in, storming in very quizzically, and stomps by you all, looking just very, and again a condescending look, and walks over to the group, and they're all talking with each other. And the only thing we can do is send him to trial, but we have no justice. We have no justice here. We have no.
For
no
what? For
judgment.
hurting him? He's not even
Yeah,
hurt.
We'll send him. We'll send
He's
him on to
perfectly
Neverwinter.
healthy.
Is the best that we can do. Do you vouch for him?
I will say this: we will take him. We will leave the town. We will go to the mill and find out what's happening in the mill, and we probably won't come back to Neverwinter. But we will just leave because I think it's more trouble to have a trial for you here for this elf that obviously nobody likes because he's shot at people multiple times in this town. So I suggest you just let us take him. We will leave. We will solve your problems, and we will be on our way, and you will never have to worry about us again.
How will you solve our problems? Our problem now, we've dealt with enough with the dragon and orcs, and now those
And
we deign to trust attacking us in our own town.
This was a misunderstanding from that happened in Nomergard, and
There's nothing to do
unfortunately-
with you.
and
There, everybody.
we will take him, we will leave, and that'll be the end of it, and we will not return. And I want to make a persuasion check there.
You can try to make a persuasion.
All right. That is 6 + 5. That's 11.
You make me sad.
Who's speaking?
It's Harbin.
Okay.
Listen, we release you from your charges. If you wish to scout the area, it's up to you, but the trust that you have garnered here, if you wish to take this ruffian, that's up to you. As you guys are talking, and as the whole general feeling of the meeting just begins to turn somewhat south, there's a clamor even louder than before. And at the opening of the hall, there is suddenly standing a very regal looking elf who is dressed to the nines in some of the most beautiful, intricately made armor of leather and chainmail you've ever seen in your entire lives. Long golden hair, tall pointed ears, and just a piercing look with green, deep eyes. Finn, you instantaneously recognize this person as Nethian, the general of your contingency of troops. He looks up on you with a look of both disdain and of scolding. Everybody in the room kind of just immediately shuts up and looks between the two of you with shock in their eyes, and Nethian says, Let me take him. Harbin puts his hands up and says, King of the Forest, he is yours. Devon,
Yep.
you feel suddenly compelled to walk towards Nethian, almost out of, not on your own will, but definitely incapable of stopping it. And you're standing before someone who not only trained and taught you, but also who you regarded as a mighty leader and as even at some points a friend, but definitely a lauded and revered warrior. Follow me.
Okay. Following.
So Nethian and Fen leave, and they kind of just disappear off into the forest. Um, it's a couple hours later of walking Fen before Nethian finally stops and turns. What are you doing?
I was getting even.
And who taught you this? And
It's hard to say.
maybe I'll ask it again. What are you doing?
What?
Why are you here?
I'm on an adventure.
Is this how you are hoping to return to good graces? Is this how you're hoping to become who you know you're supposed to be?
You make good points.
What is exactly going through your mind?
I just
Please,
don't know.
tell me.
I had many bad days, been attacked repeatedly. Gnomes just got to me.
You are a warrior of the High Court.
I'm only
are
level
a
3.
And yet you act like a child.
Exactly. Sometimes I just have bad days. And sometimes the anger inside me comes out.
What is a day in the life of an elf?
One of many.
I tell you this, Fengalore. You are being watched. If you wish to ever return to our courts, things will change.
Things will change.
I expect more than this.
I will do what I can to change for the better.
Do you understand?
I understand.
May we never speak of this again. As you guys watch Fen walk up into the forest, there's just a strange feeling that comes over the town itself. Fandolin just kind of goes quiet. Fibblestib stops and sits and just starts to sob a little bit. He looks towards you, Barrick, and just kind of has this pleading look on his face, like we're good, right? Like you're not gonna kill me. We're friends.
I'm gonna walk over to Fibblestib and sit down next to him and pull out the crossbow, holding it in my hands, and say, the person who made this is probably one in a million, and I bet that there are few things that could get him down. And even though dark days come, I bet he's gonna be just fine. I'm just gonna hold the crossbow in my hands and just kind of smile at it and stare at it, and hopefully he gets the metaphor.
he appreciates, and he kind of wipes a little gnomish tear from his eye and sighs and says, I'm truly grateful. I hope, if anything, that poor That poor elf, your companion, finds his center.
With I think with our help and with time, he will.
Shield, where are you at?
Getting on the wagon, ready to leave.
You're still on the wagon.
Yep.
Okay, it's
I mean,
getting.
I would have left the town hall.
Yeah, it's close to evening now. You're there packing the wagon and getting the last things ready, getting the horse hitched up. I always forget this guy's name. Yeah, Elmar has kind of showed you how to, if you're not already familiar with it, hitching the wagon and putting the horse on, and how to, keep it well fed and keep her from getting skittish. As you're back there working in the behind the provisioning area, Adabra comes walking up. Well, you pick interesting companions.
I sigh. Shield sighs.
It's all right. Listen, there's something I must tell you. I believe that Nethian will sort things out with your companion, but I need to know something.
What is it you need to know, Adabra?
What do you fight for? Why do you fight?
A long time ago, it was for my people. That was a long time ago. More recently, I was fighting to be a hero for the people. After today, I don't know if I can say I'm a hero.
No.
That's what I was
Most people
fighting for.
most people that claim to be heroes hardly ever are. It's typically those that don't seek it that become it.
That's what I don't know what I'm fighting for now, Adabra.
Well,
it seems like any of the goodwill that we built here is gone. So
trust that the town will have a longer memory than that. I believe with Nethian's presence and with the sudden change in the heart of your companions, it's possible that good graces may still yet be won. We haven't forgotten what you've done for us. I haven't forgotten what you've done for me. And the Harpers haven't forgotten what you've done for them.
The Harpers?
Who are the Harpers?
Listen.
Adabra, the Harpers?
It's not normal for me to say this name. And she pulls back a lapel under like her apron and shows you literally a pin of a little harp with stars encircling it. I don't know if you're aware of us, but there is a group of people in the realms striving to make sure that all that is good and right stays good and right. There is another group who wishes quite the opposite, who seeks not more but for power and control over all that they can control. The Xantharium are, if anything, evil, at best, bumbling fools, and at worst, the most evil in the entire world.
The Xantharium?
The Xantharium. Now, don't lose faith, stout paladin. Those who seek to serve others and serve their deities are the noblest of heart, and those are who we seek for our ranks. I may not speak of this again for a while, but hold fast to who you are, and maybe keep your rather large ears to the ground as you are on your adventures. If you happen to be made more aware of this group, I trust one such as you would be quick to alert me to their presence.
I will do that. So I extend my hand to shake Adebra's hand, and I say thank you.
She takes your hand like in both her hands in a very motherly and loving fashion and says, "Don't lose your heart, Shield. It's in the right place.
It is the way.
It is the way."
And I drop her hand and go back to saddling up the wagon, preparing to leave.
Fen, Nethian has kind of gone into what most elves call a spirit trance. This is something you're very familiar with. It is a kind of meditation method that they use to not really sleep, but to find rest. He has taken you with him into the sleep, into this rest, and he's trying to help bring you back into the warrior that you are. There are memories of your training, memories of the battles that you fought, your time with the elves. There are memories of the reason that you've fallen from grace with them and the hurt and the pain that that caused you. There are also memories to some of the methods you've used to cope with that and to deal with that, and how those have you've allowed that to enter and almost um, dirty your soul and defile your aura and your essence. Um, there is a sense of pleading for change, and also a sense of bolstering for who you are. You remember um, heroic deeds that you've performed. You remember noble actions that you've taken, and you remember the things from your past that the reason you joined the King's Army and why you were conscripted into that pledge. He says in your mind, "Remember your pledge, Fengalore. Recall who you are and be that."
I will
I make
try.
this pledge to you. I make this pledge to you that you will return quicker than you imagine, but you must pledge to me to slough off this person you've become.
I will pledge to do my best to change into the person I should be.
That is all I can ask. When you wake up, you are exhausted. You're covered in sweat. You are in the middle of the forest. Doesn't take you very long to get your bearings. You are also pretty much stripped of most of your gear. It's nowhere near or around you. You're just in a tunic and some leggings and your boots. But you can tell that Phandalin is about, it's only like 2 or 3 miles to the south, and it's dark. The sun is set, the fires are lit, and you are you can walk. You can start walking back.
All right, so my gear is nowhere to be found where I'm at.
Not around you at all. Yeah.
I wouldn't go back to Phandalin.
You would go back to Phandalin.
I would not.
Just want to say that if that wasn't clear.
I would never set foot in that town again. But, against my better judgment, I'll go back to the town.
As you come walking in, people get quiet. Nobody really does anything to you, though. They don't confront you or make any move to engage with you. It's you head back to the Stonehill Inn. When you walk into the inn, everybody's sitting there. Both Shield and Barrack are sitting at the table. Everybody again gets real quiet. They look at you kind of like, "You all right?"
Hey guys, what's up?
Shield gets up and walks to his room.
Nice to see you too, Elephant Man.
He doesn't turn around or acknowledge at all. Just walks up to the room and closes the door.
Tolvin says,
yeah.
Tolvin says, "Hey lad, I've got some food for you. Come on over. Keep your mouth shut. Come here."
I appreciate that. Has anybody seen my gear? Somebody stole it from me apparently while I was
Well,
meditating.
Nethian was here while you were gone. He's told us all to allow you safe passage, and he's explained, at least for now, that I guess it's up to you to show us all a little bit of a difference. But we've always trusted Nethian, the protection he provides to the forest. So I suggest you head up to your room and get a good night's sleep.
See, so nobody knows where my stolen gear went. Okay.
No, none of us know.
Well, I guess I'll go up to my room, take a nap,
Okay.
meditate
When you get
some
into your
more.
room, there is a bundle on your bed.
Ooh, what's this? Looks like my
So there
gear.
is, yeah. So there is your old uniform from when you were in the army. It is a symbol of honor, but it's also a symbol of acquiescence in the sense that when you are part of the military, you are also under orders by your commanding officer, and so not only does it signify that you are an important person, but also signifies that you are also a person willing to do that which your commander has signified. There is also your swords are there, but there is a brand new yew bow that you've never seen before, carved in with elvish runes, with etchings, with markings, and with your family name on it.
My long lost bow.
So go ahead and add a longbow +1 to your equipment. Shield, you were also handed a pin by Adabra, a harper
Okay.
pin. She said not to put it on yet, but to keep it on your person.
Okay. Stored in my pocket.
Who's going to a cocktail party?
I don't think
Nobody-
anybody is. Are you?
No, I hear someone getting ready to go to a cocktail party. Am I the only one that hears that? Is that seriously only me?
I'm not hearing anything.
Not me this time.
No one's watching TV anywhere.
The night wanes.
Okay, cool.
Eventually the lanterns in the town streets are slowly put out, and before you know it, it is well into the night. Is everybody asleep?
Yes.
This is
Is this
sleep.
a long rest?
Yeah, another long rest.
Long rest. Take a long rest.
Okay, prior to everybody leaving, provisions that you acquired, Steve or Shield, what is it actually that you wanted to gather?
It would have been rations for 3 people
Okay.
for the duration of the journey.
Alrighty. So at least probably 30 rations, so 10 days worth of rations for 3 of you.
Yeah.
So that'll be 30 gold.
30 gold. So I don't have 30 gold. I've
No,
got
sorry,
25.
Yeah, so sorry, 15 gold. Do 15 gold.
Okay. So I would pay for all that.
Okay.
You're paying for everybody's rations?
I was there picking it up. I mean, I'll ask for money from you guys afterwards, but I picked it up and I paid for it while Finn was murdering gnomes.
Word.
There was no murdered.
He would have
Yeah,
died if
he
Mike wasn't
wasn't-
there.
He
It
wasn't.
would have been just fine. I was going up to heal him myself.
Okay, so in the
Yeah.
morning, it's actually a nice, beautiful morning. There is no nothing strange about it. People get onto their regular hustle and bustle as the day goes on.
As
There
the
is
shoppers
not
rush home with their treasures?
as the shoppers rush home with their treasures. There's a few glancing looks at Fenn as he walks by, but everybody also remembers the presence of Nethian, and therefore no one confronts him about it. Even Fibblestib kind of gives you a nod and a salute, Barrick as you walk away, and just that's all he does. Doesn't go up and say goodbye or anything. Just
Off on our journey, hey boys.
so.
I would like to make a perception check to see if Finn is drunk. That is a natural 20.
Are you drunk, Finn?
No.
Okay, he is
Okay.
not.
It just sounded really drunk. That's all.
I'm all friendly, and somehow my character's drunk. Okay, you think I'm drunk because I'm friendly.
Word.
So I start driving towards Alphonse's place, towards the.
So you head north out of
Harbor.
you head north out of Fandolin. It only takes a small portion of the day to get to what's called the Tribord Trail. Once you connect with this T, you tell going off to the south, to the north, northeast. Trail goes up, and you are it's a nice, clear, well-worn trail.
Cool. We continue along the trail.
Right on, right on. So let us do this. As you guys are walking, and as you're trundling through the trail, the mountains to the south, the further you walk, it's very slowly but surely the ice spire becomes more and more prevalent in the horizon. It is far off. It looks like it's a good good 25, 30 miles away from you. Very tall, imposing looking peak. And almost itself looks like, it looks like a spire. It's very pointy in shape. It's almost, there's a lot of talk that that's where Cryovane has been lairing, but it does look like it'd be a really strange place to have a lair because of its shape. You can't really see that there's anything um, obvious about where he would be if he was actually up there at all, but he definitely is. It's definitely an imposing looking place.
Cool.
So in about a day and a half, you make it halfway up the Tribord Trail. Night begins to fall, and you can continue on in the night, or you can stop here and make camp.
I'm gonna suggest with the prospect of orcs that we make camp and try to watch and kind of set up some defenses, maybe tuck ourselves into this forest a little bit and kind of try to stay hidden. What say you?
Sounds like a
Cool.
good idea.
Good job, guys.
I think
Alright.
stopping and making camp would be good. What kind of defenses do you suggest?
So I pull over without talking and stop the carriage or the
Wagon.
wagon that we're driving.
Okay. So if you want us to have to make a decent camp, we can go on a survival roll. So I would say the person with the highest survival ought to at least set up the camp after that roll.
Got +4.
I have +5.
I have a +0.
Okay. So Finn, give us a survival check.
Got 14.
Okay, 14 plus 5 or 14
No,
total?
14 adjusted. Yep.
Okay, no, Finn using his one growing up in the woodland area and two having been trained, as he was trained, sets up a pretty defensible camp. A fire in the middle that's not too big to attract too much attention, but large enough to keep you guys warm. He also sets up a watch. So who wants to take first watch?
Shield will
take
take first watch. Shield will do it.
Okay, Shield's got first watch. Who's got second?
I guess I do.
Okay, and
What
then Finn,
time
you'll
is,
take
what
last
time is
watch.
second?
You got it.
Well, you're just going to divide the evening and you're going to divide the night into 3 equal portions.
Right.
So, however that works, just for between the three of you, just enough to keep things from, someone will be always aware of what's going on in and around your camp at all times.
Word.
Okay. So the first watch goes along very uneventful. Shield. The night is peaceful. The fire, it's pretty easy to keep at least glowing embers so that it'll be easy to cook breakfast in the morning. Everybody go ahead and tick off 1 day of worth of rations off of your inventory.
I checked them off of mine. Since I'm holding on to them, I would have handed them out. So I'll track
Okay.
rations.
Sounds good. Okay. So second watch comes up. You can arouse Barrick. Don't arouse Barrick. Just roust him. Wake him up. Just wake him up.
So I nudge Barrick with my trunk and tell him it's his turn to take watch.
Anything going on?
I didn't see anything. It was pretty quiet.
What do you feel about our chances?
Our chances of what? Chances of survival? Chances
Our
of it
chances
raining?
of this mission.
Chances of a powder keg exploding at any second? I'd say they're
of
pretty
this
good.
contract.
So I just I roll over and I lay down and go to sleep. Cover my eyes with my big giant ears.
I think Shield needs a morale boost, guys.
Not the talkative type. Cool. So,
all right, Barrick. So it's it's well into the middle of the night. The moon is low on the horizon. It's not a full moon by any means. It's a waning crescent, and so it's not very bright, but definitely not too bright. It's not very cold at all, so it's easy to stay warm and be aware of everything that's going on. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Nat 19.
Nice. So you hear some rustling off in the distance, off probably 15 yards off the trail to the south of you. You hear a pretty consistent and steady crunching noise coming through the forest to the south.
So I'm gonna get my crossbow loaded up, get it at the ready. I'm gonna focus on that area, but not give way to the rest of the 360 degrees around me, but just kind of watch and listen and see if I can see eyeballs and orc breath.
And what was your total on your perception again?
19.
Okay, so not very long because you're being more inquisitive than reactionary. Not very long before a cow comes lumbering its way up to your camp. It stops once it realizes that it sees fire and sees a horse standing there, and just kind of brays a little bit, almost with just hunger in its eyes.
Do I see any brands, markings?
You
anything
do
to
see
know
a
where this
brand.
cow
You
comes
see,
from?
on its rear haunch, you see a BAK.
Back.
That is his back. Hey, you fell asleep. Quiet now, please. Please. You don't want to talk. You don't get to talk. He seems harmless.
He does seem very harmless.
Hi, cow. How's your night?
And it's coming closer. It's kind of sniffing the air, trying to tell if it's the place that it could, find something to snack on.
You hungry, huh? I don't have much left from dinner, but here you go. What do cows eat? I actually don't even know.
So you do have feed for the horses, which would be some kind of grain. That it wouldn't be interested at all in your provisions because that's going to be more like stale people food. Maybe some raw, maybe some cured jerky, but nothing necessarily that it's going to want to munch on.
I got nothing for you, cow. So go on, get out of here.
You just try to shoo it off.
Yeah, I got nothing for the cow. I can't give her my horse's food.
Okay.
Shield wouldn't talk to me in the morning. Wait.
The cow just kind of meanders around camp. Now that it's seen people and things it's used to providing it with food, it just kind of just slumps down on the ground and starts swishing its tail, and just standing there, just looking at you. Starts to pick at some of the grass in the trail and chew it a little bit, and just kind of hang out.
That's cool, cow. Like, how much longer does my watch last? How much longer do I gotta entertain this cow?
So after a couple hours, it's not quite dawn, but it's definitely time to switch over watch.
I'm gonna walk over to Finn, without startling him because I know how he is.
Say, hey, what's up, dude? Is it my turn? Is it my watch? I just been sitting here thinking about things since I got a lot of rest the last little bit. Is that cow still there?
You haven't been sleeping at all?
No, man, I don't sleep. You know, elves, we just meditate. We get rest really quick. It only takes us like 4 hours to get the same equivalent of 8 hours of sleep for, lesser species. But,
Lesser species.
So yeah, man, I've just been meditating on, things in life and our adventures. I saw you were having a good time with that cow over there. Couldn't get him to
Having
go
a
away.
great time. Are you good, man?
I am great, dude.
Like, you good?
I heard somebody at the village say it was close to Thanksgiving. Should we kill that cow and eat it?
I don't think traditionally in Fandolin that cow is the Thanksgiving meal.
Well, my mom
being
always
a-
said if you presented a cow, you should kill it and eat it.
Being a raccoon myself, I
You don't eat
really
cow?
think I typically don't.
Huh.
Um,
I'm learning new things every day. I've been around for
Every
300 years and I didn't know raccoons don't eat cow.
bet you probably didn't know you didn't shoot people in the middle of a town either. But that's cool. We all learn stuff.
Sometimes when you
It's
just
alright.
lose control of your anger
The other day,
and let the
yeah,
hate
when
fill
you lose
you,
control, that's
you
what
just
we
gotta
do.
shoot it.
You
So
just,
do you trade over watch?
just gotta shoot it.
All right,
Just
go ahead
gotta-
and get some sleep, little trash panda. I'll take over from here.
Little trash panda. This. I'm gonna
All right, Devon.
walk over to his shield and I'm gonna curl up under one of his ears.
Finn, it won't take too long before it's like dawn, or at least that dusk, that pre-dawn dusk. But as the rest of the morning goes on, you go ahead and give me another perception.
Perception of 6.
Yeah, it's really quiet. There's nothing that really rouses your attention at all. The cow and you just kind of exchange knowing glances,
Oh,
understanding glances,
Lucky.
and
That
deep
raccoon doesn't eat meat.
understanding, long glances.
Longing.
And then before you know it, it's morning. The sun begins to rise, and everybody can start. If you want to start up a breakfast prior to continuing your journey, you may do that.
Yeah, I'll cook him some breakfast. I have 20 rations in my pack, so I'm gonna make some rations this morning for my
Why are
food.
you making the cow
Oh,
breakfast?
we have a lot of rations between both of us.
Okay. Okay. All right. So it's only going to take you a couple hours to get to the crossroads once you've finished your breakfast and are ready to travel again. The cow follows you. It knows what livestock mean. It means that there's probably food eventually, and so it just kind of follows on behind as you guys head back up the trail. As you are heading northeast, you eventually on the horizon see some small buildings. There's only a few. It looks like they're slightly dilapidated and not anywhere near complete. It's very quiet and almost eerie right now as you get closer. Everybody give me a perception.
Jeez.
13?
21.
Nice.
9.
So again, Finn, it's pretty clear that up ahead doesn't look like anybody is about. Although it does seem like there are some horses meandering through the ruins of this little village. They look to be as though they are normally riding horses. Only one of them has a saddle, and the other two do not. But as far as you can tell, there is nothing else around.
Hey, Beric, do you eat horse meat?
I'm sorry. Say what?
Do you eat horse meat?
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. You want to say again?
Do you eat horse meat?
I did get a good night's sleep. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Ah,
Shield,
trash
where are
pan is
we?
about as dumb as a box of rocks. You see those horses over there, Shield? You think that's something we should be worried about?
It seems like
What was your
there aren't.
perception, Shield?
I got a perception of what did I get? I think I only got a 13.
Okay. Um, the only thing you'd be at all concerned about, is that they seem to be alone, meaning that their owners are either in trouble or dead.
My thoughts
Um,
exactly.
It's odd to see so many horses without people around, especially two of them saddled. They're not tied to anything. They're just wandering.
They're just wandering through the village looking. There's a little like well right in the center of the village. It's got a little bit of water. They're stretching pretty far their necks down to get a drink, kind of agitatedly scooting each other out of the way as they do so. But that's really the only reason they're here close at all. There's just an eerie silence over this little area. This is what they said in Vanderland was Conberry. Um, and there doesn't seem to be anybody here.
The village of Conberry.
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 Sorry.
So I will. I suggest we stop. We tie up the wagon and we investigate. Something's wrong. So I will stop the wagon and I will tie it to a tree. Is the cow still following behind us?
The cow is staying near the horse. It thinks that where livestock is means its next meal is coming. It does it as you guys walk away from it. It kind of looks confusedly between the wagon and you, but kind of sticks near the wagon.
I tie it up to the wagon so it doesn't
Okay.
leave.
She protests. She has udders. She protests, that she's tied, but that's about the end of it.
So do we announce ourselves? Do we go in, let people know we're here? Shall we check it out quietly?
Well, I do have those fireworks.
Let me attempt to scurry up there to kind of scat out beforehand using my stealth.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check as you walk towards the village.
8 plus 5, 12.
Okay. You go fairly lightly up foot.
13, you mean?
13.
Yeah, fairly lightly up foot. You make your way towards the village. The horses startle a little bit as you walk up, but they don't really seem to care. They sniff in the air, again looking for what seems like a meal, and then stick back with the water.
Do we have a map of this area other than what we have, or no?
There's not. This
Okay,
is just
okay.
you just know that along the trail you'll eventually make it to the ranch.
Word. Okay.
As far as you can tell, though, there is nobody in this village. It's just way more quiet than it should be, and it's definitely been abandoned within at least the last fortnight.
Hey guys, I'm gonna scurry back down to the group. Guys, I don't think there's much up there. Did I see anything nefarious? Any, damage? Any?
It just looked like it had been ransacked. It looks like it doesn't look like it was from any large creature. It kind of looks like it was a group of creatures.
Keep a close watch on that cow. It might be a mimic.
So
We've had some experience with those before. kind of walk
So
up
Shield
here.
is going to try to round up the 3 horses.
Okay, you're gonna make an animal handling check to do
That's
so.
a thing.
It is a thing.
That is a thing.
I rolled a 19.
Sweet.
All right, you handle them horses pretty well, actually. You calm them down. You make them feel comfortable with you being around them, and it even seems like they would allow you to ride them or mount them.
Cool. I'm not going to mount anything currently right now.
Yeah, you
Save
would
that
kill
for
it.
later.
You're a big elephant.
I'm not that big. So I just tie him to the wagon, and
Okay.
shall we investigate further? Do we just continue on? What do you?
So,
I think we ought to check this place out. Someone could be dead and or dying, so I think we ought to.
Yeah, with your initial check, Barrick, you after kind of perusing through everything, it's definitely been abandoned for quite some time now. There doesn't seem to be any obvious presence of anything left, and there is just, I mean, why the horses are there doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's definitely pretty clear that no one is in or around or has been for quite some time.
So I'm gonna see if there's probably nothing worth salvaging. There's
nothing. Yeah, there's
nothing there
nothing of
worth.
import other than the horses and the saddle that they have with them. That's the only thing of any import.
I suggest we grab these horses and bring them with us. I don't think there's anything left in this town for them, and I don't think there's anything left for us here. I think we should keep moving.
for once, he's got a good idea. I agree with you, Barrick. Keep moving.
The you pass through the little village. It's the horses don't seem at all remiss to leave it. They're glad to follow along again with the hopes of being fed and or watered. And you continue on the Tribord Trail. Not very long until you come across the outer reaches of a large field. Let me drop this map on you right here. Boom.
Ooh, a map.
So
It
this
is
is
a
like
pass.
this is a wide overview. This is um, you know, probably 50 feet per square. But there's a big outstretching large ranch. There are cornfields, there are orchards, there's a large stock pond in the center, and to the north of the orchard you see a barn that is partially looks like it's been burned down recently. It's smoldering a little bit. There's also another building right north of the pond, right, that has also been ransacked and destroyed and torn down. There is a ranch house right off to the north of the furthest field that is just kind of resting quietly. There's not much happening there, and there is not a sound in the valley. But there's plenty of fences. The trail kind of goes past the field itself, and there is again that same eerie stillness that you felt in Connerbury.
I continue to drive the wagon up to the ranch house. As I'm doing that, I would like to see if is the wheat tall? Is it tall wheat right now?
So the wheat's fairly tall. It hasn't quite been harvested yet, so it's pretty tall. There's places where they have started to bring things down. There's also a group like an area of gardens, kind of the more this greener area over here. So those are lower cut, but the cornfields themselves are still fairly high.
Are they
You
tall
can
enough
see
to conceal something?
you could conceal yourself in them. Do you see the top of the ranch house or the farmhouse? And so you don't really see the perimeter or the ground and down and around it. But there is definitely a calm, eerie stillness to the valley.
Shield, I think we ought to be careful going through these fields. This would be a great place. This is where I would set up an ambush.
I say we smack one of those horses and let it run through the field and see what happens.
You go for it.
Um, You do kind of hear every once in a while like a snort, and there are some pigs kind of carousing through the cornfields. They don't themselves seem particularly perturbed, but they are the only things that seem to be moving in and around the field right now.
I think if we wanted to let a horse go to lure anything out, we could always collect it later if there's nothing here.
I would agree with that. Send one off, Fen. You've got the best horse handling skills.
All right, I send one off and I smack it with my bow.
So you smack the horse with your bow, and it just rears up and just gallops off, takes off down the Tribord Trail, goes all the way along the fence, does not turn north, continues along the trail, and just gallops off into the horizon.
I think we sent it into the field, right? That
You
was
said-
Yeah, into the
yeah.
field.
We were
pointed-
sending it into the field.
Which part are you standing in?
We're right here.
Oh, you're right here? Okay. So
Is
it
that where we
goes.
are?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
it goes taking off. It goes burning down the trail. Uh, the valley goes dips down, and on the other side of the pond, the hill rises up. So you're kind of between two hills. So it's taking off down the trail. It's getting near kind of the pond area, and it kind of veers off towards the farmhouse. It rounds the corner, and it's kind of obscured by the corn now from your view. You just hear it galloping away, and eventually where you can't really hear it anymore, and then after a while you hear nothing.
Well, I guess there's nothing here that likes horse. Guess we should go investigate.
Yeah, we will continue driving down through the road between the fields up to the ranch house, and I will do that. Yeah,
I'm
trying just.
I'm
kind of
gonna
normal
walk
pace.
along. I'm gonna get out of the wagon and walk along with it.
Okay, as you guys get right as you're coming up here, you notice corpses laying in the garden area.
Human, elf.
You can't tell yet until you get up close.
So I'm going to stay driving the wagon.
Okay. As you get real close to the pile of bodies, you notice, to your disdain, there's at least 5 human ranch hands and 2 orcs.
Orcs. Shame we didn't get here fast enough.
Be on guard. Continue making our way. Any sign or sound of the horse?
There's not a whiff of the horse. How do you want to continue to approach?
Quietly.
I think I'll continue to drive the wagon. Devon, your Finn is walking alongside.
Yep, I'm on foot.
Eric, where are you?
In the wagon.
In the wagon also? Front
Yeah,
seat, back of the wagon?
Back. No, I'll ride shotgun. Is there room for us to ride shotgun?
Yeah, there should be.
Okay, I'll ride shotgun.
Okay. Once you make your way to the southern end of the pond, the trail splits right around here. You come around the corner, and there is the farmhouse. There is smoke coming out of the chimney, and the horse is nowhere to be seen. But there is definitely movement from within the home.
Shield, would you like to hail and make them aware of our presence?
If it is a band of orcs,
can we perceive who it is through the windows?
You can't tell from current distance.
So I suggest we tie the wagon to this post here, to this fence, and we slowly make our way up. I think it's best, Barrick, if you go investigate. I will hide here in the wheat. Fen, you can hide in the wheat also, and we can, if you give us the signal that it's orcs, we'll come running. If it's human, then we'll investigate further. But if there's a pile of orcs out there, they haven't heard from anyone from the ranch in a while. I mean, we have to assume that it's been overrun by orcs, correct?
Mm-hmm. I would agree if we found orcs.
I mean, what if they're good orcs? What if they're
No such thing
I'm
as a
gonna-
good orc.
That's a bit stereotypical.
Only good orc is a dead orc. Kind of like
There we go
gnomes.
again. Like gnomes. So I'm gonna stealthily, as quick as I can. 6 plus 5, 11.
Okay.
So as stealthily as I can, I'm gonna try to get to the window without being seen, heard, smelled.
Okay, so you are going to want to come up close to the farmhouse itself, and you said you rolled a 12.
11. 11.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna put Barrick over here. So when you get to the perimeter of the farm, are you coming from the south, right? So right around here.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming from the south, it's a pretty nondescript little farmhouse. You know several entrances and windows in and around the perimeter. Looks like there is a cellar door on the north side of the farmhouse itself. Where do you want to start your investigation?
So this is a window here.
That's a window.
I'm just gonna kind of. Oh, stop it. Select. So I'm just gonna creep, kind of just right under here, under the window.
It's not letting you move it. Hold on.
Let me move it. Pan view. Select.
Well, let me.
Yeah.
How about now?
It happens. There we go. So I'm gonna do that kind of jobber.
Okay. Let me fix this real quick. Devon, you have 2 accounts in there. You Killer of Gnomes or Devon, or both?
Well, it's both.
Okay.
Mine for
All
this
right,
game is
so-
Killer of Gnomes.
Barrick, when you peer through the window, you get a nice little view into what is very clearly a kitchen. And inside there are 2 languid and rowdy looking orcs who are just kind of picking through the pantry or through the cabinets, kind of just ransacking the stove. Just a couple of them, just kind of just tearing the place apart, doing whatever they want with it.
Is the window open? Is it solid glass?
The window
Is
is
it-
closed. The window's closed. Yeah, it's glass.
Okay. It's glass. Okay. So I was gonna attack, but I'm not going to. So staying where I am. No, I'm gonna run back to the group where we left them
Okay.
at kind of the crossroads and let them know what I see. Tell them, guys, it's orcs. We don't know of their demeanor. I guess orcs are orcs, like Fen said, but it could be nice orcs. Maybe it was the humans that were bad. Just saying. But guys, it's orcs. I think we have the element of surprise here if we can sneak up on them. I counted 2 in the kitchen. That's all I could see from where I was. How should we handle this? Should we kind of ambush them, smoke them out? Ooh, let's smoke them out. I'm gonna suggest that I sneak up on the roof, stop up the chimney, and see if we can smoke them out. If the consensus of the group.
I suggest we find out how many more orcs are in the building before we plan. If there's only 2, or if there's more, I think that would be important to know.
Alrighty, so I'll head back and I'll go to one of the other windows. Let's see if I can sneak up better this time. 7 plus 6. A little bit
13.
better.
So, which window do you want to go to?
So I'll try to do this window to where I couldn't see through before. So just the next one around
Okay.
this little room here.
Alrighty. So, case in the joint. You look like you have just peered into what is a big dining hall, and there is another 4 of the pretty foul beasts just sitting there tearing into whatever food they've found, knocking each other over, drinking mead, just rabble rousing and having a good old time in there, busting up tables, breaking plates, just having a ball.
Okay, so I'm gonna head back to the group, guys. We're looking at six plus orcs. So maybe smoking them out isn't the best
Can we just burn the building down?
option.
How many
I
stories is
mean-
the building?
It's a 2-story building.
2 stories.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is okay.
Yeah, 2-story building.
I suppose we could
6 on the
block
bottom.
the doors from the outside and burn it, and we can just take the orcs that run out one by one.
That's a gruesome option, but I mean I think it works with our scenario. We're gonna have to monitor all sides in case they go through the windows.
Can you climb to the second story and see what's in the second story window? You are a raccoon.
I am a raccoon, but I get about 2 good stealth rolls a game. So I don't
mean,
really
you
want to.
do you want me to
Well,
go
it
up
would
there
take-
and
it
look
would
for
take-
you?
It would take a feat of your dexterity to climb up to another window, and let me show you at least where the other windows are on the second story. Oops. The window.
So Shield, just refresh my memory. Whose ranch house is this?
This would be Alphonse. He's somewhat of a town hero, a warrior in the past. Doesn't
We
seem like
were-
the heads of the town were too fond of him, though. Something about abandoning the town.
Did
I'd
they
abandon
also
that town
said-
too if I was him.
Should we go through that pile of bodies to see if we can find anything that would identify Alphonse in that group, and then finish our mission and come do this later? Is that worth doing? or
It was
are
pretty
we
clear
here?
that they were ranch hands. They all looked young and pretty nondescript in their clothing. By all descriptions, Alphonse was a pretty big fella. Had a pretty distinct leather vest that he wore, with a necklace of teeth around his neck, like fangs.
Like he could be half orc, and so like this could
No.
be his new way now.
no, not they would be half orc, but
I think
but
he
just
must
a- just
keep
a large
trophies
fella.
from his kills.
So looking at the second story, there are windows in about the exact same places straight above where the other windows are. If you wanted to make a dexterity attempt to climb up and then peer in, you could do so.
I don't want to.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I think these orcs, if they gain a foothold in this valley, they will continue to push farther and farther. And this is just closer to Phandalin.
Are we in agreement?
Canaberry was completely empty, and I suspect it was by the hands of these orcs. If the bodies that line the road are any indication, I think we need to kill these orcs.
We need to kill him for sure. I mean, I'm not going in the building because that's just not what I do. And I think if we block
Can
off
we-
one of the exits and light the building on fire, if we can.
Can we maybe try to collapse the second level on top of the first level? Do we have enough magic between us, or spells between us, or abilities between us to be able to do that to this building?
None of my
I
spells.
can't do anything like that. I can knock on the door, and as someone comes to the door, you two can.
I've got a
Shoot 'em, and we
thunder
can-
wave. Would that make the building
thunder wave
unstable
would-
enough that it would collapse?
I'm guessing a thunder wave. I don't think so. Not a building.
Yeah, it wouldn't be enough to collapse a building. No, not a specific story, especially.
Okay. Well, let's try to set this thing on fire. Can we grab some of this fence and block this door as quiet and as stealthily as we can? Or were we trying to funnel them out through the door?
So which door are we talking about? You've got
This one
two-
here?
So that's a cellar door.
Oh, that's the cellar. Is
That's
this the door here then?
So yeah, so if you there's a porch on the north with the door right there on the facing you from the west, and then there's the stoop or the steps where you were walking in the
Mhm.
back. There's also some steps up to the back of the kitchen. Let me actually reveal that a little bit better.
So there's two
Okay.
doors then.
Yeah, so right now there's a two apparent entrances into the building.
Okay. So then I'm
Besides
gonna
the cellar door.
the cellar door. So guys, it looks like there's 3 entrances we need to block and or man. We've got a cellar to the north, an entrance to the north, and then a kitchen entrance to the south. If we block the kitchen entrance and the cellar entrance, we can set up an ambush spot on the north entrance to have them come out that way so we can try to pick them off. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. So I'm gonna again using
Okay,
all my
so
stealth.
what are you gonna try to? So who's gonna try to barricade the door?
What kind of skills does that require? Who's got
So
the
this
best?
would be again a survival check, but you're also gonna have to include a stealth check to do this without rousing any suspicion or awareness that you were there.
So I've got +4 survival and +5 stealth. So I don't have. I mean,
Okay.
I could do it.
Yeah, so I think you should do
Yeah,
it
so
because
first
I'm a
of all, see
ranged
if you
character.
can- First of all, see if you can stealth up to that front door.
What,
Okay.
Devin?
Because I'm a ranged character, I'm gonna stick back and not go up close to the buildings.
Okay.
To kind of be where you can pick things off.
Well, you got to help me barricade.
Let
them
me
first,
let me kind of get this where I can see
I got
the
you covered
general perimeter of the
from a
building here.
distance.
Hold on. We want like a general. Okay. Oops.
Hey!
Anyway. Ignore that. Anyway. Okay. So Barrett, give me first of all a stealth check to get to that front door.
Front door. 11 + 5. That's
Okay.
16.
Yeah, it's 16.
I was making sure.
Okay. As you are coming up to the door, the implements that you're carrying or the log or whatever it is you're going to attempt to block the door with comes rolling out of your hand and just makes a very loud, unceremonious onto the table, onto the porch.
With a
And you hear
16?
yeah, because their perception was higher,
Oh my gosh.
and so you hear a and you hear something is walking towards the door.
Um.
You hear it coming to the
okay.
door. Do you want to stay standing there?
I don't. I'm gonna go behind the well.
Okay.
Try to crouch down a little bit behind the well and
Okay.
stay hidden.
All right. An orc pops the door open, starts sniffing the area, looking around. Did you grab the wood? Did you drop?
Like when I left, no.
Okay. So it sees the log on the ground, or the lumber that you had. It kind of looks up in the top of the porch and looks around and does not notice you.
I'm
But it
gonna
kind of keeps itself kind of stationed at the front door now.
not going back inside.
Not yet.
I'm gonna just kind of hang out then. Finn and Shield, what are you guys gonna do?
Well,
Cool,
I
'cause if
am
you guys are
100
if
feet
you're gonna
back
come around the
from
side,
the building.
is that where you are? Okay, you guys didn't move around to help me at all. That's cool.
No, I told you I was gonna cover you from a distance.
No, I gotcha. Yeah, yep.
You're waiting for the
That's
doors
a
to be
good
barricaded.
distance on the other side of the house. I bet you can get a clean shot.
So, because if Barrick hasn't appeared saying, "Hey, the plan is a go," I am going to actually come sneak up to this back door.
Okay. Give me a stealth.
That's a 2.
Okay. You come up the stairs, and you, in all your bulk and mass, just can't seem to keep from making those stairs creak and crack. Your armor and even your giant shield just kind of bump against everything. You kind of smack into the door as you kind of have to stoop over a little bit, and there is just a very quick reaction on the other side of the door of "Who's there?" And everybody shut up and roll initiative. To be continued.
Four. Mike got 4.
16, but I guess it doesn't matter.
I mean, it do for next time. Dang, I'm losing my voice. Is that my voice? Is that my voice? Oh well.
Gentlemen,
I rolled
that
a
was
6.
fun.
It was. Good time.
That was some pretty interesting stuff that had
Ben,
happened.
what did you roll? Let me roll down, right down your initiative real quick.
Got 16.
I rolled 6 for shield.
6 for shield.
Mike
Ben?
got 4.
And Finn,
16.
16. Dang, son. Okay. When next we meet, will our heroes be able to rouse the evil orcs from the farmhouse, or will they become the next thing on the menu?
Ben
Until
certainly
next
won't.
time, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you later.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh man, I should have made a turkey joke.
You should
Devin,
have.
you certainly made the first part of the show very, very interesting.
Gotta change it up sometimes. It was good.
Change it up.
Yeah, that's been like the MO, dude.
I didn't think you would actually do it. I was like, I wonder if Devin will ever act. Nope, he did it. He just opened.
Actually
That was your
Just
opener.
did it. He's like, this guy just gave
Shoot.
Mike something cool. Let's
Have
shoot
no
him in the
will
face.
shoot.